Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way now. You either with me or against me. Win. Win, 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 win. Bump everything else. We winning, 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 winning. I walk it like I talk it. I walk it like I talk it. Then I walk it like I talk it. Hold up to be clear. Yeah. I believe in miracles, but I don't believe in waiting for them. Nah, you gotta make that happen. They be like, who they rolling past? That's Dr. Amino with the bag. You go, you go, you go. I promise everything gonna be alright. Yeah. Hey, everything gonna be alright. I came, I saw, I came, I saw. I praise the Lord, no break in law. I gotta go get it, I gotta go get it, I gotta go get it, I gotta go get it. Yeah. Miss me with that bullshit. This ain't what you want, this ain't what you want. I tell all of those, break it up. Break it down, bag it up. It is the new year. I am so excited. I always believe in pursuing what it is you're going after. I do believe that with prayer, really moving forth in your goals, because it don't stop at prayer. That's one of the things we not gonna do. You are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Yes, God is there, but he ain't blessing people who ain't putting in the work. So this is the year of the work. But y'all, this is a very interactive video, so I definitely want you guys to put your comments down below. Let's talk about what we're doing differently this year. We're gonna hold each other accountable. Maybe down below you'll find a friend that really holds you accountable to these things. So let's get into this day and have a good time. Okay.
Make sure you thumbs up this video if you like it, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel and also my vlog channel. Make sure that you come back on all Thursdays and some Sundays for video uploads, and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload. Y'all, we are kicking the new year off right, and this Saturday, January 12th, I'm being honored with a Visionary Award in Houston, Texas at the annual New Year New You Luncheon at Seasons 52 on Westheimer. So if you're interested, make sure you go ahead and get your ticket at newyearnewyouLunch.com.
But before I get started with all my talking and running my mouth, I'm already eating, y'all. And it is delicious. It looks good, smells good, tastes good. It's vegan, it's keto.
Y'all, usually when I do these videos, I order something to eat, but I'm just gonna cook a vegan Buddha bowl today. And I absolutely love this. It's easy to make. I've listed all the ingredients down below. I'm going to be using tofu as my protein, and I dry that out between paper towels in order to make sure that it's nice and dry before I cut it up, and then I make a sauce along with it. Now keep in mind, if you wanted to use a different protein, you can, so like chicken or beef or whatever your protein is. So then whatever it is, you're going to make a marinade and then chop up your protein. So I'm chopping up this tofu into smaller pieces so that I'm able to put it into the marinade and sit it to the side. So with tofu, this only needs to sit about 5 to 10 minutes before it takes on the flavors, and then I set that over and I go ahead and chop up my vegetables. So I'm just chopping up a little red pepper as well as some broccoli florets, and you can chop those down as small as you like. I like mine a little bit bigger, a little bit heftier. Now I'm going to spray down a little piece of foil because I'm going to be using my handy dandy air fryer for my tofu. I have this Go Wise air fryer in my Amazon shop, so check the links down below if you're interested. But I love this thing because it gets the job done. I start off in the foil, but I'm later going to take it out of the foil. I'm just going to set this bad boy for 15 minutes at 370 degrees, and midway through I empty it out of the foil and allow it to brown and crisp really nicely. And now I'm going to go ahead and saute my vegetables. So I'm going to throw in those red peppers and then that broccoli as well. You're just going to do this to your liking. I like mine a little bit crisper and not too soggy. I'm also going to add a little bit of my seasoning. I'm using adobo and a little bit of garlic powder, and then I am ready to go. If you're wondering, I'm using Miracle noodles, which are carbohydrate free and also only 20 calories per bag. So with those noodles, you just rinse those off really well and microwave them, and then add your vegetables and then your tofu or your protein on top. And I love toasted sesame seeds, so I'm going to throw that on top because it's not a Buddha bowl without it. And then I'm using my chopsticks. This is still a tried and true favorite, and it's so filling.
That's good. So first off, this is the year of not hiding your light. I am so tired of hiding lights under a bush. I've done it. I've done it most of my life. And I'm gonna hip y'all to something. You pop up on YouTube and people somehow assume that you had no life before you came to YouTube. YouTube was not the first time I had ever been picked on in my life. And so I came here when I was in graduate school, starting to really figure out who I was. Growing up, I always felt like different. I was adopted. I was raised by a single parent mother, and that was similar to most, but my mother also worked 8 to 12 hour shifts a day, so I had to be more creative. I was involved in almost every freaking thing. Debutantes, Easter speeches, Uncle OG Junkie Bob's groups. Classically trained on piano for 10 years. I played the violin, viola, and the cello. I did so many different things at a very young age, and I was always very creative, and my mother knew that, and she really fed into that. When I came to YouTube, I was this ball of energy. Everything that happened to me in life, between elementary school, between high school, undergraduate, grad school, getting my doctorate, all of that. I don't think I've ever not been singled out, picked on, whatever it is, and I really learned to build tough skin. However, that also meant that I learned to accommodate a lot of people's feelings, and sometimes I was a people pleaser. So instead of me being proud, or openly proud, let me put it that way, of my accomplishments, of the things I had done, not to slight anyone else or make them feel bad, even if I was sharing the way that I did it so that they could achieve the same or even more, I found myself kind of hiding who I was, hiding who I was becoming, trying not to make people jealous of me, trying not to make people be angry or upset with me. Y'all, it's hard for me to eat and talk. Y'all found this out on the last video. I can't eat and talk, it's hard. I don't know how y'all be doing it, but I feel so rude. I feel like I'm being real rude right now. That led to me often not sharing my gifts with the world. And I think because I'm so excited and energetic and happy about the things that I do, and I like to share them without being braggadocious, which I don't care about what people think bragging is. I mean, if I tell you what I do, that's what I do. That's not bragging, that's fact. I found that I've grown stronger in not being afraid to talk about those things. It is what makes me who I am. I am grateful and thankful to God for those opportunities, and I feel like it's my responsibility to show people what's possible. Even when you don't seem to have all of the tools in life to do what you want to do, I feel like it's my job to show others what they can do, what they can show improvement. Even if they surpass me, I'm happy with it, because guess what? God has given me what I'm supposed to have, and baby, this life is good. So what we stopping in 2019 is hiding our lights under a bush. We are giving the world exactly who we are. And I'm gonna keep eating because I be forgetting to eat. Hold on. I be forgetting to eat. That is delicious. I can't believe I made this. And I ain't bragging, that's fact. But I challenge you all to not hide your light under a bush. And right before Christmas break, I was in my office and I kind of gave myself some words of wisdom. Sometimes I film things on my travel camera that I don't always share with you guys. And I think sometimes I need to start sharing a lot more of these private chronicles. So I'm gonna share some of those things. So while I'm eating, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all see some of that private chronicle. Degrees and licenses are, so those are just licenses right there, y'all. These are my licenses and certifications, and then up here are the degrees. One thing that I stopped doing is really celebrating myself. So you'll find that a lot of my awards and all of these different things are down on the floor instead of being where they should be. I have these certificates and awards, and I haven't even really hung them up, even from when I did a TED talk. Like, so who's who on college campuses and universities from NAACP, aka I have one from Delta Sigma Theta, Graduate Institute when I spoke there, Department of Human Services Teaching Excellence Award, Certified Online Instructor, which a lot of people do not know, which also helps me here with you guys. I actually have some art in here, a photo that was made for me. I need to hang that up. Putting my achievements, certifications, things like that on the floor. A lot of it stems from a part of me that doesn't always like to celebrate myself. As much as I come here and I teach you guys about things that will help you with your personal growth and your development, I've had issues in the past where even when I'm
only sharing things that have been asked of me or doing things like that, you run into situations where people might become a little hardened, a little, I hate to use the word jealous, but it happens, and a little bit less satisfied with where they are in comparison to where you are. When you're not sharing things in order to do that, but because of their ego, they fall into a situation where they would rather you be quiet or not share the things that you engage in or that you've achieved, even if you're not the person who asked to be put on the spot. And so I found a lot of times, and my boss pointed this out to me, my department chair, is that I tend to hide my achievements. And I am so tired of doing that. It's so tiring. It's so annoying walking on eggshells around people and not knowing if they're going to believe you think you're this or you think you're that. And my other problem with that is I don't understand when people want to judge you based on that, because if more of us thought highly of ourselves, we would have a much better world. Most people do things or create negative situations because of the way they feel about themselves. And if we felt better about ourselves, we would probably do better in life, right? No matter who we are, no matter what our grind is, no matter what our hustle is, it's 100% important to realize that once you are happy with yourself, it's easier for you to be less upset or less bothered by others and their goals and their strengths. In fact, you'll be motivated by those things. And so this next year is going to be full of me not hiding who Dr. Nina Monique Ellis Hervey is. I've gone through this in relationships. I've gone through this in friendships. I've gone through this in my professional workspace, where people do not like that you are who you are, you do what you do, and you bad at it. I want y'all to own things with me as well, because I feel like we all can do better in celebrating ourselves. I've had people tell me things about themselves and they're like, well, this is not really an accomplishment, but I did X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, man, that is huge. That's a wonderful accomplishment and it should be celebrated. And for some reason, we've been taught that we shouldn't celebrate those things because it might make others feel bad or feel less connected to us, because people focus only on the good and not the fact that a lot of people who have accomplished a lot, there's a story behind that. And so I always seek to make sure that you guys know not only the positives, but the negatives. You know, yes, I'm Dr. Nina now, but guess what? When I entered college, I got a 0.89 GPA. So what I'm telling you is this success has come from struggle, and I don't hide from that struggle. I celebrate it because I wouldn't be who I am without it. And just like I celebrate the bad and talk about the bad, I should also be okay and good with talking about those great things that I've accomplished due to coming through the struggle, which many people fail to do. So what I plan to do in the future is to really help people learn my motto of fail. Fall and immediately learn. The next thing is also about staying healthy and fit. And you guys know that fitness and weight loss is a big part of my life, mainly because I'm adopted. I don't know my full health history. So it's important to me to not find out the wrong way. So I do things like keep my cholesterol down, accept challenges. I work out a lot. It's important to me, including my water intake. But with that said, what we're gonna do, or what we're going to eliminate this year, is stopping the dieting and start living. I don't want you guys to feel obligated to try everything I do. When I bring you stuff on this channel, it's because I've tried it. It's because I either like it or I have some opinion about it. I don't want you to confine your life to not living, to only doing one set of things. I've clearly had to incorporate a lot into my life for this fitness game to work. So when it comes to intermittent fasting, yes, I do it. But some days I fall by the wayside and I need to eat in the morning because I'm dizzy. So I'm not doing it all the time every day. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Also with my food, sometimes I have to be flexible. Yes, I'm mostly vegan, and I've told you guys this. Last year I was fully vegan for most of the year, and then I found myself really getting bored, but not just bored. I also wanted certain things. I like fish. I like it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make sure I stay away from things that are man-made. I'm gonna get as close to the freshest of fish that I possibly can, and if I have to spend a little bit more coin to do so,
I will, but I'm going to live this life. And I challenge you to do the same. I think we should really drop these hardcore diets and also these groups that get mad at other people because they did certain things. I did used to get sad about that. Like when people would be like, oh, you ate that? That's not good for you. Here's the thing. Nothing in this earth is good in full quantity. Remember that. If you're eating it and overeating it, I don't care if it's the most healthy thing. I don't care if it's broccoli. If you're overeating it, guess what? You too will suffer. Well, I'm not gonna live this life being afraid of that. What I will do is take my butt to my doctor and make sure that I'm getting my blood levels tested. I know how high my cholesterol is, all of my vitamin levels. I also know how high my blood pressure is, my heart rate, other blood tests. All of that is in order and in line. And in fact, a lot of these people that have a lot to say about the things that you choose to do, they ain't been to the doctor in 10 years. And guess what? After they get done talking to you about what you're doing, they're gonna pull right into McDonald's. Because honestly, when people come at you like that, sometimes it has something to do with them and not necessarily something to do with you. And it's okay to have an opinion, but you don't have to lead people down a rabbit hole. That's the only way they can eat, that's the only way they can live, that's the only exercise they can do, because life wouldn't be worth living if we didn't have a variety and diversify ourselves in terms of what we choose to do and what we choose not to do. Celebrate being healthy, but finding your own way. I'm gonna make sure that I try to stay away from telling you guys there's things that you have to do in order to be healthy. I try to present you with things that you can try to stay healthy, and you can choose from them and see what works best for you. Also, with the career planning and updates, my next goal in academia is to earn full professorate. I'm gonna be doing more videos on my career, I promise. I've already got that in line and in order, and I've started to try to ask you guys what specific things you want to hear, because everybody doesn't want to be a professor, but I think a lot of you all want to know how to even establish a career, to stick with it and really find what you're good at and what you love and how to be successful at it. And so for me, it's all about seeing things through. So this year, I'm going to work very hard to publish more, to also speak a bit more, and create more opportunities to give, to do service within my campus reigns and in my community. And I think I'm gonna stick with doing that so that I'm able to advance to the final level of professorate. Can you believe that at this age, I've been able to get to the second highest level you can achieve as a professor? I mean, the last level is really full, and of course there's awarded professorates. After that, I'm also a licensed clinical and school psychologist, a nationally certified school psychologist. I am soon to be certified personal trainer. I've been working with the Association for State and Provincial Psychology Boards. God has blessed my life. I have to say that all comes from keeping a mind that was focused in spite of. Am I saying I didn't fall by the wayside and I had the perfect journey? No, I'm saying that a lot of times when things happen that were negative in my life, I was able to pick back up and get back on the right track. And I think sometimes that's what keeps us from our ultimate goal. Would you agree? Would you say that's what you've experienced? I think that a lot of us get thrown off also by what other people have to say and what they say about us and what we think we're supposed to be doing, what people think we're supposed to be doing. I didn't always have the support of everyone around me either. I think that's a common misconception. I didn't have yes men. So a lot of times what I want y'all to learn is to fall and immediately learn, which is my fail model. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, but also make sure that you are learning to listen to yourself, grow within yourself, know yourself, so you're able to withstand when everybody doesn't think the way you do. And sometimes they might be right. Sometimes our ideas are a little bit lofty, they're over the top, and they're not good for us. But sometimes you gotta trust your gut, especially when you know yourself, and that's how you stick with your career. That's what you do. If you know that's what you wanna do, you find the route of what makes you most successful. You find a mentor in that area that can offer you even a little bit of time. You also make sure that you make strides to research what people are doing in that area so that you can find your own area to establish within what you want to do. And that's how you stay on track. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I want to end with full professorate if I do choose to leave academia one day. Also, guys, I'm going to be taking on some mentorship classes and webinars for you guys. I'm going to keep it 100 because you guys are my viewers.
These are going to be paid mentorship opportunities. Each webinar are going to be $47 to $50, but they're going to be conference style and online, about 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 4 hours sometimes per webinar, which you guys will have full access to download and those types of things, where I do questions and answers. You guys have time with me, all of that, and that might be a monthly thing. How many of you guys would be actually excited to do something like that and would give me topics that you would like to see in those monthly webinars? Let me know. But that's something that I plan to do because I'm gonna let go of these ideas that I want to execute and just execute them. But I want to include you guys because you are the people that have supported me in getting to where I've gotten. I'm so excited to continue to share with you. So I thought that that was something that would be more accessible to people at a price range that most people could afford. Of course, I'm gonna continue to have my free things. You know, I have my supernatural course and I'm probably gonna release another free course soon. But I definitely wanted to check with you guys on that. And I'm also going to be running the Sky Is Not Your Limit, which is another course I have created behind the scenes that's going to be more of a premium course. That's going to be a more higher level cost in course, but I wanted to offer something that would also be touch and go and a little less on the pockets and the coins, but also make it equally as beneficial for all of us, because I enjoy doing that. I enjoy mentoring, I enjoy giving back, but of course I can't do it for everybody. And so I think that this would be a really good way for us to build groups and a community where we're able to come together and talk in a webinar style and have access to one another, but also have me be able to teach on topics that you guys choose. And also a podcast is on the horizon, okay? And that's gonna be Now That's Life with Dr. Nina. I'm so excited about this podcast. I have been brewing on this behind the scenes. In fact, because we're not gonna continue to say things we're gonna do, we're going to do them. Let me show y'all what I have already purchased in the way of creating a podcast. I have already invested in a Yeti microphone, which is supposedly one of the best USB microphones that's professional. So I got my little computer set up here. Also, I have a pop filter for the microphone. I have a microphone arm stand, and I also have a Yeti shock mount. So there's a lot that's gonna be going down, y'all. I really did invest. So this podcast is real. I don't care if 5 of y'all listen to the podcast. This is going down. 5 people is better than no people. So I'm gonna praise the Lord for 5 people and we gonna get with it. So if you could engage in some conversation with me down below, let me know some of the ideas you have for a podcast with me and what you would like to hear. And you know I got this idea from y'all, right? Most of you all have written me and said, could you please create a way that I can hear you in an audio manner? Something that I can work out to. Something that I don't always have to watch you. I understand. I get it. I've started to get into podcasts myself as I've been researching things to do for my own. And I love them. Amanda Seals, awesome. Therapy for Black Girls, awesome. School and Life podcast, awesome. There's a lot of them out there. And I was really thinking that it wasn't worth it for me to make it, but I want to give you guys different things that I can offer from me to you. So the podcast is coming in like the next few months. It's like soon on the horizon. I've already done promotional photos for it. So guess what? It's going down like this bowl. And I'm looking to continue to do more sponsorships, things like that. Some of you all have seen across my social media, which will be amping up as well, that I did a recent deal with Robitussin. Robitussin, your girl has done a Robitussin commercial. They flew me out to New York. They really liked me and it worked out. I worked with Meredith Brand on presenting a digital commercial for a digital campaign, and God, y'all don't understand, like, some of you all have asked me if I still want a TV show. I do. That's something that's still in my dreams. I've told myself I'm gonna get myself into my 40s, and I pray to God that this continues, this momentum continues. But that made me so excited for the possibility of having my own television show one day, because I felt so at home in front of that camera. They even told me I was a natural. Do you hear me? They even said they felt like what I presented was so naturally done, so easy, so simple. Y'all, I literally did one take and they were like, wow, she killed it. She did that. And so I'm so excited about that. And you can see that on my social media. Make sure you visit my Instagram, Facebook, and see those. Which brings me more to my Instagram and Facebook. I promise you guys I'm going to start to show you more of my life. When I say giving you guys more of my life this year, I plan to ensure that I give you guys more of a tour of my places, and I will be doing more videos on my decor, what I love, what I don't. And you see it's a pillow right there because I be sleeping in the front room. Here soon I plan a video where I show you how I find my African art, because some of you guys have asked me, how do you have all these African art photos? And believe it or not, I get them from eBay. And I'm gonna teach you how to do the same. And for cheap. Y'all know your girl don't be liking to spend a whole bunch of cash. Also, I plan to show you guys what I've been setting up. So in my filming room, I now have new lights, all of this. Also, I'm gonna start taking pictures so that I can post to Instagram and all of that needs to be ironed or whatever. I also will be conducting a small bedroom tour at some point so you guys can see how I get ideas and inspirations. And some of you all have asked me to really show you my closet organization and how I do that. So this is my closet right now, which is not in the best shape just yet, but I even have started to organize my jewelry differently and all of my stuff here. So God has put on my heart that I can't do everything on my own. Did you hear me? God has put on my heart that I can't do everything on my own. Last year felt so good to invest in myself and my branding. So you guys know my new website, drninaellishervey.com, all of that, to make sure that those things were done in a manner that I felt like you guys deserved. I didn't want to have a half-ass website. I really didn't. And I also didn't want to have branding that was not in tune with who I am. I also didn't want to have photos that were not in tune with who I am. And so that's why I've done all this, invested in myself. And God told me, if I keep blessing you with these opportunities and giving you money, you need to pay somebody to do some things for you. I have to relinquish control, and I'm learning that. And I challenge you guys in this year to find ways that you can start to cut back on things so you can have more time. So you can have more time for self-care. So you don't have to fall into being overly worked, paid, but overly worked. And I realize there's other people that can benefit. So I'm gonna get a personal assistant, and I'm also going to have an internship that's going to allow young ladies to help me with my social media. And I've already chosen a nice team. Does not mean that team will not grow, but at this point I'm so excited to start with them and get this social media popping so I can show you guys more of my life. So I'm really now very excited about using my resources to be able to give back to others. And allow them the opportunities to grow in areas that they desire to, while putting money back into the community. That's something that is new for me, and I challenge you guys to do the same. We cannot continue to operate on our own. I do like to see people grow and flourish from resources from me as well. That's why I give on YouTube. And so I realized that I'm gonna have to relinquish some coin so I can make more coin, right? So this year is the year of making sure that I'm giving the most to myself by allowing others to take care of things that I can no longer take care of. And I challenge you guys to start to look at your life and decide on what you can give up, what you can negotiate with, what you can ask people to help you with, so that you can be in better health overall. So that's also going to lead to me being able to do more health tips, more videos, because that's my goal too. And my goal this year, big time, is to get over 260,000 more subscribers, because that would put me at 1 million. Y'all, I didn't think that would ever happen, but it can. because you guys have shown me in the past year and a half, my growth has been exponential. I don't know if y'all can tell, but behind the scenes, I've been working a lot harder on trying to put out consistent content. I think especially when I was in school and when I first started as a professor and a clinic director, I couldn't really put out content. And so I've been one of those creators that has been blessed to put out content that you guys really enjoy, even without it being consistent sometimes. And for that, I thank you. But my goal now is to become more consistent so I can be on your timeline and your feed more often so that we can get to 1 million, right? Because I think we can do it. Don't hide your kids or hide your wives. Tell your kids and tell your wives so they can go on ahead and come in and we can all have this community and get down with the get down. But that is a goal and a vision of mine. And what I'm gonna stop doing is saying, oh, it'll probably happen. But now I'm gonna say it's pretty realistic now. And you guys have been hyping me up, which has been crazy. Wow, you guys are still coming in even when I don't post as much. I'm still getting by the weeks thousands of people that are coming in and subscribing, and I haven't paid for 1 subscriber. Not one. But I am very thankful and grateful for you guys who come in, who participate, who win contests, who do different things with me. I couldn't be happier. So with that said, make sure that you get on the email list. That's all you have to do is to sign up for my 8-day free supernatural video program. It's down below in the information section. It will bless your life. Lots of people have been writing me and telling me how they can't believe that that program was free and they learned a lot that they're going to implement in their lives. So that's going to allow me to show you guys more of my life so you can see what I really do, so you can get the things that have really helped me be successful. Because that's one of the #1 questions I get is, how did you become successful at a young age? And I think showing you will be better than telling you. And I've started to show you more, but that's only the beginning. The last thing in that career aspect is I'm going to be doing meetups. Yes, guys. And I want these to be intimate meetups. So they're gonna start in Houston, since I'm Houston based, only 25 to 50 people per meetup, so that we're able to interact, correspond, talk, chat, have a lot of one-on-one interactions. It's open to men and to women, so I don't want you to feel like you're limited to just coming to a women's program. Probably will be mostly women, but I do invite the men out as well. We can all talk about mental health issues. We can all talk about fashion, hair tips. We can all talk about family. We can all talk about friendships, maintaining good and healthy relationships, even our food, boo. Yes, it's gonna be a day of you. Do you feel me? So I want to have meetups that are meaningful, that are happy. Lots of you all have bumped into me at various places here. Even when I've been looking a hot mess, I've been seeing y'all at Walmart. I've been seeing y'all at the restaurants here in Houston. It's been so much love. And many of you all have asked, are you gonna have a meetup? Are you gonna do something? Okay, you've challenged me. Still good. So now for what I know y'all really want to know. Single life and dating. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Single didn't last very long. When I say single, I'm not married yet, okay? Let's get that clear. I am currently in a relationship. And it's a very intentional relationship, a courting phase, first off, and getting to know, and spending time, quality time, and I'm quite happy. And with that said, it's not a whimsical Cinderella story, which I don't think at this age you should be experiencing that. If that's happening, you're probably dealing with a serial killer. Yeah, probably kills people. I was single exactly 6 months before this person asked, and they asked in a very intentional manner. This person was very intentional about asking if we could be together and be exclusive. And as funny as it sounds, at my age, it's never been really like an official thing to be celebrated and remembered. And this is a time that I felt like it was kind of celebrated and remembered and solid and very clear. So for that, I'm very thankful. It was not something that was expected, but I did tell y'all when I became single, I told y'all 4 months after I had become single, that I was gonna be very intentional. And from here on out, there were going to be different rules to my dating game. And you know, Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high, and I ain't going low. We staying up here. We all the way up. And I want y'all to hold me accountable with all of these things. So even with that, I'm holding that very sacred. I'm going to probably be quite quiet about it, but I think that you guys could at least know that at this point I am in a relationship, because what's funny is some of y'all have already seen me out and about and looked a little confused. It has been a blessing. I'm very thankful and grateful, and I'm happy to be where I am. No pressure on anything other than what I know what God has for me is for me, and it's going to be what he's going to give me. I'm going to get what God wants for me, and we're gonna find that out. So y'all are here for the ride. I just can't eat and talk. I can't do it, y'all. Somebody help me. Jesus, I can't do it. We're gonna stop the era of playing this game where it's like, oh, this year I'm gonna lose weight. This year I'm gonna get rid of my friends. No new friends. But you ain't doing nothing. You ain't by yourself. I've done it too. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. This is the year of the do. There is no more what we gonna do. We just do, okay? That was why I went and bought all my podcasting equipment. You know why? Because I kept saying, oh, I'm gonna start this podcast. It didn't become real till I invested a few hundred. Put your money where your mouth is. We're gonna hold each other accountable this year. In fact, on these videos, I'm gonna need for y'all to be like, have you recorded some podcasts yet? One of those were podcast releasing. Get on my nerves. Get on them. Get on my nerves. So guys, I know I have talked your head off, but it has been such a great time eating and talking. I couldn't finish all my food. I never do on these videos. I don't know how these people sit up, eat all this food, and they talk. I probably shouldn't drink so much water before I got on here either. In fact, I'm so behind in my water today, but this will get finished. It sure does. A whole gallon every day, and I got to pee like a racehorse. But you know what? It's good because my skin is glowing. But hopefully today's video was good and beneficial to you guys, and that you guys feel excited about your year. This was not just about me to expose what I want to do. Down below, I want you to talk about the things that you're doing, what you're currently doing, what's important to you, what's happening for you. You motivate me. You make me feel good. And sometimes you make me reflect. And I'm grateful for you. A lot of you guys, again, are friends in my head. Many of you all respect the journey. You see where I've come from and what I'm doing. And you see how I want the best for you. And that makes me happy. That's what I'm here for. So make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it. Subscribe, guys. Thanks so much for watching, guys. A beautiful brown baby doll. Peace.
Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.